Okay, how to make 10K a month trading. Let's begin. So as you can see in this video, so this is the line graph of all the trades that I've taken in November. So this month, it's been 13 days. This is a line graph. I've taken 4 trades, only 4 trades, and I've made $48,000 before fees. After fees, it's probably a little less, but you get the point. This video, we're gonna be covering this specific trade, KXIN. I made $10,100 blah 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 dollars off this trade. We're gonna go over the exact strategy that I use for this trade that you can use to make 10K a month. If I can make 40 grand, almost 50 grand in like 13 days, you can make 10K a month. Like come on, like, you can fucking do it. So let's begin with the goddamn strategy. Pay attention, make some notes. So what should the best strategy ever, like if we're thinking about the best strategy that you could possibly have for stocks, for whatever, trading, blah, 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 what should it have? What should it have in common? And we can slowly start ticking these things off. The first thing should be, is it should be extremely simple. One of the reasons that indicators or anything works, like let's look at traffic lights for example, right? Why do traffic lights work? Do traffic lights work because, the red means bad and green? Like no, none of that. The reason traffic lights work is because everyone has just agreed. Whenever there's a red light, we all have to stop. When there's a green light, we all have to go. We've agreed on that definition. Like that, as simple as that. The green light could be blue. If it was blue and we agreed on blue, it would be a blue light. It's nothing to do with the color. Similarly with this, a strategy has to be simple enough for a lot of people to understand it. If a lot of people understand it, the higher the likelihood of the strategy working. You see what I mean? If you use like a very weird indicator or like this really sacred strategy that's extremely rare and it's really beneficial and blah blah blah, bro, literally no one is gonna be trading that strategy and it's not gonna work. You need something which is simple that a lot of people know so that it works. This is the reason that like bull flags work. If you look at chart patterns, the reason chart patterns work is because many people know that that's the chart pattern. So when a million people see the chart pattern, they all buy. And because they all buy, the stock goes up. See what I mean? So the best strategy, the most ideal strategy, it should be simple. It needs to be simple. The second thing it needs to be is high risk to reward. High risk, high reward. Right? That's what it should be. Especially with people with like small accounts, because I started with like a couple $1,000s. I did not start with like $100,000, any of this shit, right? Especially if you have a small account, you need a strategy that is high risk to reward. Because to grow a small account, you need to make a lot of fucking money. If I have $100,000 and I'm just chilling with $100,000, I can have a tiny strategy that makes me like, I don't know, 5% per day, and I'd be happy. But especially if you have a small account, you need a strategy which makes you 20% a day, 50% a day. So you can actually start growing your goddamn account and get out of this weird zone where you're kind of profitable, you're kind of not. So that's the second thing it needs to have. It needs to be extremely high risk to reward so you can actually make a lot of money and start growing your account forward and become profitable. And the last thing a good strategy should have is it needs to be repeatable. Like being able to trade once a month, twice a month, you're not really going to get anywhere. If you're able to trade every day, almost every day, or a couple times a week, you're going to A, develop confidence, B, you're going to grow your account, and C, you can have experience. So you're literally going to get better and better and better and better. This is the most important thing. Like I know some people who trade like maybe once or twice a month because that's just the way their strategy is. And sometimes they win, sometimes they lose money. It's just 50-50. And I keep telling them the reason you're doing that is because you trade twice a month. If you just increase the frequency of your trades, you'd make a lot more money because now you have confidence. Like the most ideal strategy, it should have these 3 things. It should be simple, high risk to reward, and it should be repeatable. You should be able to trade this a lot, not once a month, once a year, twice a year, a decent amount every single week, right? So let's get into the specifics. So quick heads up before we get into that. I have my completely free trading bundle. It includes a free course, free ebooks, trade track. It includes so goddamn much. It has like a trade tracker. You can track your templates and everything, or track your trades on a template. Click the first link in the description. Go check it out. If you're a beginner, if you don't know what you're doing, this can be really beneficial for you. Go check it out. Okay, so what are the steps to this trade? The trade that I made, right, where I made 10 grand. What did I do to make the 10 grand? Like, what did I do, right? So these are the steps in front of me. These four steps. That's all I did. Step number 1 is to find volatile stocks. Now, the reason I find volatile stocks is because, again, we're trying to have high risk to reward. That's one of the checklists, right? We need to like tick it off. So how can we get high risk to reward? Well, we trade stocks that have a high have high volatility, because these are the stocks that have the potential to go up a lot. There's no point trading something like Apple or Nvidia, because it's not going to go up that much in a day. If you trade some random small tiny stock, it could probably double in a day or triple in a day or quadruple in a day. Those are the stocks that we want to buy, the stocks that are volatile, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is to choose one or two of the volatile stocks that you see. And the third step is to buy. So once you've identified volatile stocks, you identify one or two from them, and then you buy one of them, maybe two of them, but you buy one of them. And you repeat this every single day. And that's literally it. That's the steps. That's the steps that I took to make the $10,000 from KXIN. Right? So let's get deeper into each one of these steps. Step number one is to find the stocks. Now, I use a gap scanner. That's what I use. If you don't know what a gap is, really simply and basically, all a gap is this. Let's say a stock closes on Monday at $1. On Tuesday, it might open at $2. Now you might be thinking, why did it open up at $2 on Tuesday but closed at $1 on Monday? Shouldn't it open up at $1 on Tuesday? Well, in theory, yes. But the reason it doubled overnight is because overnight there could be some news that comes out. Maybe the stock had this crazy new deal with Apple and they made a shit ton more money. Maybe the CEO said something, or maybe Elon Musk said this, whatever. Point is, something happened to the stock and overnight it doubled in value. So the next day it opened at $2. That's what a gap is, right? And the reason it's called a gap, by the way, is because when you look at it on a stock chart, there's a gap between $1 and $2. That's why it's called a gap. Now these are extremely volatile. Extremely volatile. And so that's step number one, ticked off, right? We need to find volatile stocks. Ticked off. All of these stocks in front of you are volatile. Now people always ask me like, what screener do I use? What's your setup and everything? My exact screener setup is in the Draco room. But basically you want to find a gap scanner, simple basic gap scanner. And you just want to identify one of those that you think will go up. So that's the first step. If you can get to this point where you have a gap scanner and you have all these volatile stocks, you're already ahead of everybody, bro. So just make sure you find a gap scanner. It's really simple, and get these lists of stocks. Now the next step is to identify, right? Just choose one, maybe two of these stocks that you think will go up. Now let's look at three of these, right? I have examples in front of you. So today when I traded the stock KXIN, I had to go through each one of these, right? I had to go through all of these and figure out, which one do I think will go up, right? I mean, there's like fucking, how many are there? Like 20, 30 in front of you? Which one do I think will go up? So I had to go through each and every one of the stock charts, figure out, maybe this one, maybe that one, maybe this one. Now, I can't spill the secret sauce, but what do I think, or what do you think, which one of these do you think when market opens will go up? This is a pre-market chart, pre-market chart, pre-market chart. When market opens, which one do you think will go up? Take a second, take a guess. Now, if you chose this one, you're wrong. If you chose this one, you're wrong. If you chose this one, you're correct. So now knowing that this one is the one that's gonna go up, what can we see that this one has that these one don't? Well, one thing that this one has is you can see the volume. Look how consistent that fucking volume is. Here you can see the volume is pretty dead and it starts going up and goes down. It's weird. Here there's no volume at all. There's like zero activity. So already we can be like, okay, well this is the strongest one. A second thing this one has is that it has a drawdown. This one is going up and up and up and up. It's opening at all-time highs. It's crazy. This one's opening at all-time highs. It's crazy. This one's the only one with like a pullback. So already this becomes like the biggest candidate. Like, yes, this is the one that I want to trade. This is the most likely that will go up. So now you've chosen. Okay, step number 2 is done. You're chosen. You're like, yes, I'm going to trade stock number 1. I'm going to trade this stock. Simple. You're done with it. Step number 3 is to enter. Now this picture on the right you can see is a screenshot of the exact time that I entered into this position. The exact time I took a screenshot. Now, what are some things that you want to see when the market opens? The first thing you want to see is a weak open. All I mean by this is the stock should open and it should start selling off. Now you might think, why would you want to see it sell off? Don't you want to like just see it go up and up and up? Yes, but no. Now weak opens are really good because they allow you to get into the stock at a cheaper price. If this opened up and instantly went up and up and up, like I would be getting up at this level, at this level, at this level, it would be horrible. Because this opens up and then it just draws down like this much, I get to enter at a cheaper price. That's way better for me. You see what I mean? A second thing this had was it had a lot of volume. So you can see, look at the volume on this candle. This is the opening bell compared to the rest of the pre-market. Look how much volume there is compared to the rest of the pre-market. That's the second thing we want to see. That's very positive. Again, we want a minimum of a 2-to-1 risk to reward, right? So my stop loss is like over here, and my fucking, take profit is all the way up over here. So this is even more than 2-to-1. This is maybe like a 5-to-1, 6-to-1, 10-to-1, I don't know, right? And the last thing we want to see is liquidity. Now, liquidity is important, especially when you start growing your account, once your account is more than like 10K, 15K, 20K, because if your account is really small, like $500, $1,000, liquidity doesn't really matter. But once you get more advanced and you eventually reach the point where you have $20,000 and you want to put 20K into a stock, liquidity, bro, really fucking matters. And you can see with this amount of volume, liquidity is like super easy. I can easily put 20K into. I mean, that's what I did. I put 20K into this, and it was super easy because of the liquidity and the volume. And I mean, that's it. That's how I entered. Step number 4 is to take profit. So from this trade alone, I made 50%. That's it. I mean, that's how simple it is. Bought over here, went up, down, and boom, it went up. And as soon as it went up over here, I made exactly 50%, sold like this. And that's it. That is it, bro. Like that's literally it. It took me 35 minutes to make 10K, and I sold near the pre-market high. Made 50%, that's it. Like I'm trying to think of something else to say, but this is literally how simple it is. This is how simple it was today. And this is exactly the strategy that you watching right now should use to make 10K a month, because it is fucking possible. If you've seen these last 4 steps and you're like thinking like, okay, Draco, this is way too much to manage, or okay, this is good, I want to learn more, how can I implement this? Then I invite you to join my community, the Draco Room. So in this community, I show you exactly how to trade this exact strategy. The one I just showed you, I'd show you how to trade it. And this strategy has made me over $1 million. You can see some of the wins over here. I'm in the wins channel. You can see all of these people making money. It's crazy. You can see every single one of my trade reviews, all the trade reviews that I've ever made. When you join, you have access to it. And this is the one that I made. This is the trade review for KXIN. You can see it's the same stock chart, everything. I go over every trade I make. I go over exactly why I took it, how much money I made, when I entered, when I exited. I go through literally everything step by step. People inside are making hundreds of dollars a day. It makes me so happy to see this. When you join the community, you can have a watch list. So you can see today, I literally said, seems like a very dry scanner. And these are the 2 stocks that I'm watching today. KXIN, which is the winner, which is the one I made 10 grand on. And this other one, NMHI. This one also went up like 100%. So I literally told the people inside the community, hey, I'm trading these exact stocks. I literally tell people exactly before the market opens what stocks I'm looking to trade. To join the Draco Room, email me at this email right over here to join, because every 10 members, we're increasing the price. So if you guys do not want to miss out on a cheap price, lock in your price and email me right at this email. Once you're done with that email, click this video that just popped up to see the strategy that made me a millionaire. I'll see you guys inside the Draco Room.